It's a beautiful morning to raise a flagpole, and it's time to get started on a beautiful anodized, black anodized internal cam cleat 25-foot flagpole. This is going to be a fantastic flagpole. I can't wait to put it in. The story and the people flying the flags, that's what it's about for us. So thank you for telling the story.
You're welcome.
Done. There's a ton of tricks to know to an internal halyard system flagpole. You know what we have here is a black anodized truck. It's actually powder painted to go with the anodized pole. This is an extremely durable stainless steel core halyard. It's going to go up through here. You know, right now I can see that I can take these two bolts out and string this. I can put it in, but later when this is 25 feet high in the air and you can't remember that, the person responsible for managing the flagpole doesn't know that these set screws are in here, it becomes more of an annoyance to try to fix your flagpole halyard. What we're going to do is we're going to take this apart and rig it. This is a stationary truck. Let me show you what we mean by stationary. This pulley that's going to have the halyard coming down through the center of the flagpole for the internal halyard system. When it's stationary, the thing I want to get at, we want the truck pulley to be seated so that the prevailing winds from the southwest are going to be keeping the flag furling out with the slightest breeze. That would be one of the limitations of our stationary trucks. We want it to be the prevailing winds, but sometimes with the cosmetics like the plaque we're putting on, or where we might want the access door to be for the internal halyard mechanism, that can be cumbersome. That can cause a problem, a little complication. So we know that we want to set this truck in a particular position if possible, because it doesn't rotate. And have our eagle flying north, top of our truck top. And we're going to have our flag flying out. But the reason you want to take this off is because this is kind of complicated and difficult to feed. It's going to feed from this pulley. You want to go inside this cotter pin that we have in here, go up over the pulley and then down this way, and you'll see how smoothly it's going to run. Okay, then we're going to fit it back together, but I want to show you how it's going to go. See, eventually we're going to fish tape this in, and we're going to put this into the flagpole. Now we're going to need to fish tape because we're going to have to take our halyard. This is a cable that's coated with halyard. It's a wire center stainless steel cable that has an outer housing. We're going to attach it here to our fish tape, and we're going to run it down to where the cam cleat is. Okay, here's our internal halyard door. We've fish taped it down, and now we need to fish that out of there. There's not a lot of room, so sometimes we just do whatever we can. In this case, I'm going to try to use my needle nose and get my halyard off of there. Basically, this is a cantilever cam cleat, and we're going to make sure that we don't lose our halyard later to it falling out from the weight, so you're not wrecking the housing on the halyard. I'll put it over here on this bushing where you can easily pull your flag up and down. We don't have a lot of room in here, and like I say, we don't want this rope to end up the flagpole, so we like to use like a bead or do something to make sure that it's not going to come back out of this cleat. For right now, I'll just temporarily tie it. We'll probably put some kind of retainer bead ball on there or something, because This wire center halyard is this cable is thick, and it doesn't tie very easily like a rope would. Go ahead and close our door and lock it. We fed our line down, and we had gone ahead and put it through a part of the truck. So now when I go ahead and roll this back up, it's not going to pull the halyard back up through the hole and I have to do it again. The truck we took into different pieces, and we're going to want to go ahead and keep our slack on our halyard here. I want to be careful on this part because we want these to go smoothly. You see I'm just unwrapping it here so it doesn't get too tangled up. You can always deal with that again later. But you can see I'm already finger tight. And when I put this cap back on with my set screws, we're going to be all set. We got to seat the stationary truck because that can't move. We need to know that we've got that thing seated correctly. We're going to try to do our best to get it to line up with the prevailing winds, but we can also turn the flagpole itself to help it with the prevailing winds. It's time to get color coordinated. When you get your parts, think about what color your flagpole is, what colors you want, because we probably make them. We usually use black, bronze, white, silver. Look in this case. We're going to have a bronze weight for the internal flagpole to go on the black, to match the black anodized flagpole. We're going to have bronze beads, retainer ring. We're going to even use swivel snap covers. But look at this. We're going to upgrade to an eagle, and it's all going to be color coordinated. Our fully painted, in-flight bald eagle. It's 16 inches wingspan. It's a little higher than that, around 24 I think, from stem to top of the wings. It's a big eagle, but it's a 25-foot flagpole. It's going to look awesome. So let me show you how we mount this puppy up. We've got our painted eagle, and we're going to finger tighten down, and then we're going to use a crescent wrench and a screwdriver to seat it in place. We're going to try to hopefully get it tight enough at a certain point. We've left everything loose because we're going to try to get our eagle flying north, our pulley for the flags to be flowing directly with the prevailing southwest winds, and then we're going to figure out our access door against a plaque that we're going to put on, which is a dedication plaque, because this is actually a flagpole that's a gift. So when we pick it up, prevailing winds are good, the eagle's good, and then the plaque. Okay. Last thing we do is we put our set screw down. Now this is where we level the pole. I like to take a bucket. You might like to be on your feet, on your knees. I don't know. Here's the right angle level, two-sided. That's what we're concerned with. We're interested in, are we on a crosshairs pattern straight up both directions? Best way to do that is to find the corner of a building, because they're generally speaking straight up. Some guys, the old guys that taught me, used to say you have to level it by eyesight. So that means you go out 50, 80, 100 feet from a couple, 3 different directions and see if you aesthetically like it. That's because if there's slope in the ground, it can have an effect on the look. We know that we want the flagpole to be level. We use 3 45 angle degree chalks. These are easy to move up and down while we put our sand in and level the pole up. Now we're going to use these slots to bring our sand in, and then we'll go to different wedges or another wedging system to finish this pole off. You're not going to get it any better than that. Let's go for our visual check, and then let's fill it in. Sand compresses to 95% the hardness of concrete with some water over about 6 weeks. So the great thing about sand, of course, is you can remove it if you need to. But our idea here is to seal everything, have good drainage. We're going to tamp our sand down. We'll remove the chalks. But this thing's going in just perfectly. I hope you have the same good luck we're having today. Okay, now it's time for a memorial plaque for a flagpole. Plaque looks like this. This is for a smaller pole. This one's going to be for a little bit larger 5-inch diameter pole. And we're setting it up. So we used an epoxy glue. It takes about 10-12 hours to properly cure it out, but we do want that resin to set up properly. We've clamped our plaque level to conform with some rubber bushings in the back to get this thing well seated. So we're going to drill the pilot holes, and we're going to mount the plaque. We're going to start the pilot holes with a very small drill bit. Come back with a little bit bigger screw. This is like a 7/16 or 7/64. This will just make our holes a little bit bigger. We want to go straight in, not damage our plaque. One more. Okay. Plaque goes in with some rivets. You can see that we've drilled these with 7/64 bit, and it's ready to be tapped in. Voila! Dedicated to the patriotism and courage of 2nd Lieutenant Gavin A. Warmbold. It's not Gavin Warmbold anymore. Now it's 2nd Lieutenant Gavin Warmbold. He's just graduated from the University of Wisconsin up in Madison. It says dedicated to the patriotism and courage of 2nd Lieutenant Gavin A. Warmbold. They're going to have a party here. It's June 28th today. They decided to have us put up a black anodized 25-foot aluminum internal Cleat flagpole. Look at the eagle that they got locally that a guy makes, and they've got it insignia of the United States Air Force. So he's a 2nd lieutenant in the Air Force, and their property is beautiful, and they picked a perfect spot for it. Look, we've been having a lot of fun out here with you today, and we've gotten to know you like through the months.
Right.
You know, I mean, you think way ahead, and you did the job right. So we're putting the foundation in, and it occurs to me, wouldn't it be nice to ask you why you need a flagpole, why you want a flagpole, why a plaque for a flagpole for your son? What's the story? Do you have one?
Yes, it's representative of a little boy announcing that he wanted to be an Air Force pilot and working hard all his life.
Really?
And dedicating himself to service in his country. And he's a true patriot, and after all was said and done, and he graduated college and commissioned, we said, what would you like for your college gift? And he said, I want a flagpole.
That's unbelievable. I can't believe I asked you this. That's true?
Yes.
So how high is he when he's saying I want to be a...
He was preschool.
He's preschool, and he says what?
He said, I'm going to be an Air Force pilot.
So he knew he wanted to do it as a preschool child.
Right.
And you work with kids, special needs kids, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so He has a good mom, I can see that.
Nice.
So then you decide to get him this flagpole. Does he know it's coming? He knows he's getting the flagpole.
He knows he's getting a flagpole. He doesn't know about the plaque. He doesn't know about the sculpture.
And where is he now?
He's in Madison, Wisconsin still. He just graduated and commissioned, and he'll come home for a month, and then he'll be off to Columbus Air Force Base in Mississippi.
Wow. Did I hear he was on some kind of scholarship or something?
He was on an ROTC scholarship paid for his college.
Yeah. Is he not an Eagle Scout?
He's an Eagle.
Oh my God.
Yes, he is. He did that
So-
too.